I think this person has what's known as borderline personality disorder. If you read the information that's associated with this disorder, I think you would agree with me that this person has exactly what this is. It's a mental disorder that prevents people like this chick from revealing her true identity because they are unhappy with who they are. So they pretend to be someone else entirely. They will defend and protect that true identity by trying to hide it permanently. They will bury it if necessary because it's something that they are embarrassed by, they are ashamed of. So ashamed that they don't want anybody to know the details of their real true identity. How many people does this actually apply to? But it's very rare to hear people like this that would call out some outlandish lies like, hey, you know what, by the way, I own a news studio. And hey, by the way, I have an investigative team at my disposal. Huh? Why would they be interested in my videos from the start if there was really an investigative team that existed? Why would they concern themselves with a low-level YouTuber like myself? Less than 2,000 subscribers and less than 2,000 views of video. And more importantly, why would they even be interested in my content? Things that make you really ponder. This person is very sick and they need help immediately. I'm telling you. If they go untreated, without medication, without the coping skills to deal with what they are embarrassed about concerning their life, they will slip into insanity. And this is when things get dangerous. If this person has any kids around her, or someone that's around her that that she has access to, she could possibly hurt them and then maybe even hurt herself. The women that you have heard about in the past that committed crimes like killing their kids, what do you think they had? Most of them didn't even realize that they had a mental disorder at all. Now they do. But that's after the fact. And only because they were forced to take medication because of the nature of the crime. And I'll tell you something else. Notice how these women have a blank stare on their faces. But post-medication, you see, there's a difference. At some point in time, they have that moment of clarity. They come to their senses. The medication is working, and they finally have to deal with the crimes that they have committed. If you do the research, most of these women are dead. They didn't want to live anymore. They couldn't handle what they had done. While they were committing the crime, they didn't even realize they were committing the crime. They felt no emotion because they had slipped into insanity. They had literally lost their mind. This chick right here is headed in that direction. I'm telling you. You may not believe it because you think, well, everybody lies, so what's wrong with that? It's a lot wrong with it. It's not normal to lay claims to owning something that you don't own. It's not normal to lay claims to having at your disposal an investigative team and you don't have it. And what other lies has she told people? Hey, I own the car lot also too, but I really didn't want to say that, but I guess I'll go ahead and tell y'all. I mean, what's the purpose of you telling these lies? They have nothing to do with anything. unless you would want to try and build yourself up and have people look at you differently rather than knowing your true identity, and they probably wouldn't even give you the time of day. I mean, that's pretty much what they're doing now, not giving you the time of day. I mean, you have less than 50 views per video. I mean, stop wasting your time with YouTube and stop wasting your time with me and go get help and get on some fucking medication so that you can get this under control before you hurt someone or either hurt yourself. Okay? Nobody is believing you about this monetizing, because the first thing that these people would do with common sense is go check on it by going to random videos to see if ads pop up. If they don't, you look like the fool. I mean, you creating all these response videos, an hour long, 33 minutes long. Why? You think the longer the video, the more they might believe all those outlandish lies? You got a sickness, man. Borderline personality disorder. You don't like who you are in the reality. And I understand, because it's probably something that you are embarrassed by. You're probably 500 pounds. 20 kids, you got your own fucking football team. None of them have ever met their fucking father, and they never will. So you trying to deal with that. You have to answer questions that you really can't answer. You have to avoid questions that you don't want to answer. I understand. And all this embarrasses you and it makes you ashamed. So you would rather have people believe that you are this owner of a news studio and you have an investigative team. I think you ought to start listening to your videos before you actually upload them to this platform. Because I think if you have a chance to actually hear yourself telling these outlandish lies, maybe it will compel you to not upload the video. I mean, you know, that's just a thought. It's ridiculous. It's beyond ridiculous. And I think you need to get help immediately. You need the straight jacket treatment. You need to be in that rubber room ASAP. People like you don't get better without medication, no matter what you do. And you need coping skills, and you need a therapist. You need all this immediately. You're slipping into insanity, and you don't even understand that you are. Again, people just, you know, they want to believe the concept of lying. Everybody lies, and how is that slipping into insanity? It is, because more and more you start to believe in those lies. The more you repeat it, the more you believe it yourself. And in this case, or her case, she wants to believe it because she wants this to be true. She needs this to be true. Because her own life, she hates it. If people could really change their life, change their name as well as their whole lifestyle, and be something that they really wanted to be within an instant, how many people would change their life right now? Over half the whole world's population would do it. You would find very little that's happy with who they are. Very little, very little. And that's sad. As it stands, you can't change who you are. So then why not just deal with who you are? Finally, love yourself. No matter if you are 500 pounds or you got 20 kids running around with no fucking father. No matter if you have to sleep next to the fucking roaches every night and that roach beside you is saying, hey, give me some fucking cover. I understand why you don't want people to know exactly what your lifestyle is. But that doesn't mean that you walk around telling fucking lies.